everybody, welcome back to Michael Clarida Arts. Today we're going to be doing something that we've done in the past. Obviously this is a drawing channel, so we're going to be doing some drawing. Now with that being said, just because we're going to be doing some drawing doesn't mean I can't incorporate other things into the video that makes sense in the studio. So you guys know that I don't know what they call them. They call them audio files. People that are really interested in good sound. And since I have been in the studio for the past 25 years, I have experienced a lot of different products coming out. Back in the day, yeah, I've seen the evolution go from audio cassette to CD to MP3 to high definition stereo and radio. And with that, you have this evolution of products that have come along, going from wired to wireless. And I have reviewed quite a few different types of earbuds on this channel, whether it be Apple earbuds, Beats. Gosh, I've reviewed a lot. So I'm always interested in finding a piece of technology that caters to me. Right? Me as an individual. And it's hard because I have, everybody is unique with regards to their ear shape. And whenever I wear earbuds inside my ear, similar to like these Sonys right here, the Sony WH4s, I believe, I've had to modify the tip because I get something called ear fatigue. And I'm sure that some of you are familiar with ear fatigue because it plagues a lot of people. Same thing goes for Apple Pros, Apple AirPod Pros. So with this comes a little bit of pain, and I've tried and tried and tried. I've had so many different types of earphones. That's why I typically go with over-the-ear cupped earphones, wireless, so I don't have to worry about ear fatigue after wearing them for hours and hours. And I even use them whenever I do outside yard work or lawn work or anything, or whenever I do chainsaw carving, or whenever I do painting, like I paint murals. I always have some type of ear protection because I want to make sure and protect my ears. Well, all that I just said comes to why I'm doing this video. FreSound, FreSound Tnspiration open earbuds. And I don't know if any of you guys have seen, here's the package right here, and you can see they look a little bit different. They kind of curve around and they have this element right here. This goes on the back of the ear. I believe this goes on the front of the ear, and this is probably a microphone of some sort. They basically don't go in your ear. They sit right on the outside and they project the sound into your ear. And that helps because, again, that ear fatigue really causes issues, and I want to make sure and preserve my ears as long as I can. So you're like, well, I've seen a lot of these different shapes of earphones and earbuds on the market. What's going to be the best option? Yada, yada, yada. So the reality is this. My wife is a runner, and she also cannot put anything in her ears because whenever you sweat a lot, that causes condensation, which can also cause some type of buildup in your ear, and that is also not good. So this stuff like this really is a kind of a lifesaver with regards to people that have inner ear issues. Some people have nothing, and you can wear earbuds all day long. You don't have any ear fatigue, and that's completely fine. There's something also called bone conduction, which goes right here, which helps project sound into your ear, and that's what my wife uses. She uses bone conduction earbuds, and she's enjoyed them. And she's, I think, gone to 2 or 3 pair because she exercises a lot and she's rough on stuff. So what we're going to do today, 2 things. First, we're going to do actually 3 things. We're going to do an unboxing. This retails on Amazon for $70. And they also have a TikTok store, which you can go on TikTok, and that's how I was able to get these. I went through their TikTok store, and just to see the process. A lot of these companies now are starting to use social media in a way like TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram. They're using them as stores, and I think that's fantastic, whatever you can do to make money. If you're not comfortable with any of those, you can always look at them on Amazon, and Amazon has really been around for quite a while, and you can have these sent to you. So as far as the three things. So we're going to do an unboxing really quick. We're not going to get too in depth in this because honestly, I don't want to do a bunch of unboxings. Then we're going to use them. And while using them, I'm going to do a drawing on the computer in back of me. And I say that to say this. Reviews are great, but at the end of the day, this is a drawing channel, and this has to work in the studio. This project has to work because if it doesn't, it has no place in here. I already have a ton of headphones and earphones and earbuds and all that other stuff, and I haven't quite landed on the perfect pair. Some are a little heavy, some don't sound right, some don't have good battery life, some kind of ear fatigue me. Even like the Apple, everybody says, ooh, the Apple's the best. They're not. Honestly, they integrate really well with the iPhone ecosystem, but there are some downfalls with these things, and eventually I'll end up reviewing the Apple earbud, AirPod 2s or whatever they're called, because there are some downfalls with them. So let's go ahead, we'll get started, we'll unbox, we'll put them on, we'll see how they sound, and I remember watching, whenever I go to buy earphones or earbuds or something, and I look at YouTube, and I go and I watch the reviews, and the person puts them on and they're like, yeah, that sounds good. And how do you know? My perception of sound is going to be a lot different than the next guy or gal. And sorry about that, Mario foul. And it's hard for me to convey a sound quality. So I'm going to give it from 1 to 10. So 10 being the utmost perfect earbud, earphone, ear sound. We're talking full immersion, nice power, good bass, balance. We're talking fit and finish and quality. We're talking all of that. So we're going to go on a scale from 1 to 10, and we're going to look at each aspect of these earbuds as it pertains to that scale. Now, I do have some experience with audio products. I was a sound engineer back in the day. And now that I'm doing art and stuff like that, I'm able to really look at this from a different perspective. So hopefully you guys will stick around. And in the end, we'll do a short video or a short segment drawing. And yeah, so let's go ahead and get started unboxing FreSound. That's FreSound. Open earbuds. And it says inspiration at every beat. And it says playtime, 8 hours per charge, which would be probably a full work day per charge. Typically, other earphones or earbuds get about 2 hours. I think the Sonys get about 2.5 hours. I'm not really sure about the Apple. I think they're 4 hours, 5 hours. And then total is 30 hours. So you could take these on a road trip or a flight on an airplane. So let's go ahead and get started. And here we are unboxing the FreSound, FreSound Inspiration Open Earbud. Full wrapped silicone material. So they're wrapped in silicone. Let's go ahead and look at the back really quick. Full wrapped liquid silicone. So they're wrapped in silicone. They're really soft and grippy. Active noise, AI, call noise cancellation, acoustic balance technology, directional acoustics technology. These are all you read these and you're like, that's got to be good. That's got to be even better. Oh, they're waterproof. So you could probably wear these in the rain or wear them whenever you're working out. IPX5 is not full immersion. I don't believe it's just being able to go in the rain and not have to worry about them exploding on your head. Endless listening. I'm sure that's not true. Smart touch control, which is cool. And Bluetooth 5.3, which I believe that's some of the newest Bluetooth technology that you can get. Okay, package is really nice. If I can get them out. Yep, artwork. Now, these companies are really good about placing artwork with reference to the product. So every time you see this artwork, you'll definitely reference the open earbuds. I'm not even sure you could call them buds at this point because buds go in the ear. They're listening. Pioneer of Inspiration earphones. So are they earphones or are they earbuds? I don't know. I'm confused. Okay, I'm not confused. Wow. Very nice presentation. Great case. We're going to go ahead and lift this up. Okay. Go ahead and open this. This is probably cord and instructions and warranty. Quick setup guide. Okay, nothing in there. This is USB Type-C right here for your charge. We're going to see if it comes with a charge. And we're going to go ahead and set them up with my phone. Quick start guide. charging case, reset button, indicator light, so on and so forth, Type-C charging port. Now this is important because every earphone is going to be different. So obviously it's in the shape of an ear. This part right here goes behind your ear. This goes right in front of the ear hole. And you have the sound outlet and the charging contacts. And let me see, here is the noise cancellation portion. So this is wrapped in plastic. We're going to go and open this. Okay. Very nice. This looks like it's debossed. Very nice case. I'm used to stuff like this. Right, that form factor right there. Those are Sony WH-5000, 6, I don't know what they are, number 4. And of course, these are Apple AirPods, and you can see form factors very similar. Now these are in a case, and the Yugis are not. This is nice. It's got a metal ring around it. USB goes in there. Wow, very nice. Look at that. They're beautiful. Oh, elegant. Oh, and they are wrapped in silicone. It's kind of like a, I don't know, it's hard to describe. It's kind of gooey, but grippy. Remove me. Okay, that's for the charge. I'm sure there'll probably be another one of those remove me's. Yep, and they come off really easy. Yeah, here's the noise cancellation microphone right there. And they're probably magnetic, which they are. And charge. And charge. I had to push that one down a little bit. So overall, presentation is very nice. Got all the legal stuff right here. And it doesn't feel magnetic, but it might be. I know some of these are. The AirPods are definitely magnetic, so whenever you accidentally drop them, the lid doesn't fly open and the earbuds fall out. But I don't think they're going to do that because this hinge is really strong. Nice, can fit in your pocket. This will be your charge source. I don't know what the charge time would be. If they're quick charge, if they're slow charge, if it takes an hour, if they're fully depleted. I'll have to get into the documentation to see what's going on. Here's all the diagrams with regards to, oops, we're upside down. All the diagrams. So it looks like a touch on the left ear 2 times. That's play and stop 3 times, reverse. Oh, there's sections. So on each section, so if you look at it, so like on here, it would be on the left side and then the right side, so on and so forth. Now, one of the things that differentiates products like this and this from products like this is the presence of an application. So an application which would allow you to choose equalization levels. It would allow you to do a bunch of things. So we're going to look to see if there's an app for that, and then we'll go ahead and pair. Okay, here we are in the Bluetooth. Now I have an iPhone 14 Pro Max. You can see I've got a lot of things paired with my phone. So what we'll do is what it says is you open it, and we're going to see how long it takes. There we go, right there. Pairing. Okay, let's go up to FreSound. Connected. We're going to specify device type. We are headphone. Okay. Name FreSound. Okay. Very cool. Let's go ahead and search on the App Store, see if there's an app. So unfortunately, it does not currently have an app on the Apple App Store. So let's go ahead and we're going to do a fitment of the Tnspiration open ear headphones. Now, just to note, let me see here, waterproof hi-fi audio for creators, music lovers, and active lifestyles. Again, these are $70 on Amazon, and that's pretty much kind of a standard price. I've seen stuff lower, $35, $25, and if you search Amazon, I'm sure that during different periods of the year, whether it be Black Friday, whether it be Amazon Prime days, you might be able to get these a little bit cheaper, but I didn't get these off Amazon. These were off TikTok. So let's go ahead and do the fitment. Okay, so here are the units right here. I'm going to go ahead and open them. How they go on is pretty easy. They just go on right over, and they fit. That microphone right there fits right over your ear hole. And then these go around. Now I do wear glasses, probably I mean, I wear glasses primarily to see, but sunglasses, stuff like that, I think would possibly be a challenge, because you have two things going in that slot right there that normally would be for your glasses. So I'm not sure how that's going to affect wear, but I wear glasses whenever I draw, and I wear glasses in general whenever I am out in the world. And I use sunglasses a lot too, because I have really sensitive eyes. So overall, they're not moving around, which is really nice. They don't feel like they're going to fall off. The silicone is really nice on my skin. Now, some people I know are a little sensitive to silicone, so just be conscious of that whenever you purchase these. Music. So continue. So I launched Apple Music on my iPhone. We're going to go ahead and, okay, so right off the bat, most of the time, whenever we hear earbuds or earphones, we go back to our standard. So my standard currently is the Apple AirPod 2's latest and greatest generation. Those fit in my ear, and it completely immerses me into the music environment. These aren't like that. Just think of, if any of you are a little bit older and you remember some of the Sony earphones that went on the ear, and they had the microphone on the ear, you could still hear the environment, which helps you if you're exercising or if you're maybe in a conference and you need to hear conversation. So that's kind of what I'm listening to. It sounds good. I can actually hear my voice whenever I talk. Good balance. It's not an amazing sound, again, because I'm comparing it to a standard. So it's got decent bass. I'm not feeling it rock my head. And honestly, bass to me at a little bit older. So whenever I hear sound, I like a good balance. I don't like over bass. Whenever I was younger, I was all about that bass. But nowadays, I like a good balance. I like depth. I like clarity of sound. And these are very clear, but it's not a full encased immersion. Yeah, I can actually literally, I mean, these are turned all the way up currently. Go ahead and do this. So volume, I have them all the way up, and I can still hear my voice at a reasonable level. I can hear every word coming out of my mouth. I can hear snaps. So don't think of these as a sweet noise cancellation experience. That's not what these are for. I mean, they market these as kind of a riding your bicycle through the city. You actually need to hear. Maybe in a cafe, and you want to hear stuff around you. You don't want to be fully immersed, just based upon the pictures that I see in their advertisement. So I'm running through some songs here. Not bad. Not bad at all. I'm anxious to see how these perform maybe in a exercise environment. So I think what I'm going to do is take these to the gym, because yeah, my thing too is whenever you have earphones like this, you don't want to aggravate the people around you. So I'll probably go into the other room. I'll have my kids sit near me and see if they can hear everything. Now, one of the things that I do want to note is, since these are on the ear, not in the ear, or coupling of the ear, you have to consider if you're wearing these and you take a phone call. Okay, if you take a phone call and you're in a populated environment with people around you, people sitting next to you, maybe you're on a subway, maybe you're in an aircraft, you have to consider that maybe somebody else could hear everything that is coming through these. So just, yeah, have that consideration in your head if you were to purchase these, or consider purchasing. So these would be really good, I think, like I said, exercising. I remember my wife and I were watching a documentary about people being quote unquote attacked in the wild by animals. And one of the things that was really clear to me, especially as I was sitting there just watching, taking it all in, was don't wear noise cancellation, fully immersed earphones, earbuds in the wild. Because one guy was running and didn't realize there was a full-blown mountain lion behind him stalking him. So yeah, these are probably really good for exercise, for outside activities, cycle riding, where you have to hear things around you overall. But yeah, good balance, not overly obtrusive. The highs are really good balance. So based on the sound that I'm hearing, I give them, if I wasn't comparing them to anything else, I'd probably give them a 7.5 out of 10. Overall, if I am comparing them to other products in the marketplace, because you would be too, I'd probably give them a 5. Just because I like full immersion. I like that feeling where I'm separated and I don't hear anything around me. And again, that's not this product. So 7.5 overall for that aspect. But if I am comparing them to others, I'll probably give them a 5 out of 10. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to actually use the controls. Now, these are touch controls. I am not a fan of touch control on the earbuds themselves. Typically, they're either not sensitive enough or they're way too sensitive, and me just touching my glasses and accidentally touching them causes an issue. So, based upon the diagram in the quick start guide, it says to get it to start and stop is on the left earbud. We're going to hit it twice. Okay, works. And then to get it to stop, we're going to hit it twice. There seems to be about a second delay between that second tap and it stopping. So then we're going to do the right bud 3 times, and it's going to go to the previous song. Not a quick tap. It's more of a controlled. So we're going to go 3. 1, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Left 3 times goes to the previous song. 1, 2, 3. One, two, three. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so what I'm noticing, okay, so then we're going to do a long tap on the right. Volume, let's see, volume up, long hold on the right, volume up, long hold. Okay, they tend to work. There's about a second delay. Not bad. So we're going to double tap to stop it. Okay, so let me go ahead and give my final thoughts here. So before I sit down and put these earbuds, not really buds, they're audio experience headgear, I don't know. Before I put them through their paces drawing, one of the things that I think I really need to express is it's hard for me not to compare these to everything else in the marketplace, because all these companies are jockeying for your dollars and they're adding features. That's why I brought up the application. So these at $70 are quite a bit more than some of the other earbuds and earphones that have applications. Also, sound quality. So sound quality is utmost importance, and based upon my listening to them, I gave them a 7.5 if I wasn't comparing to another product. If I was, they're a solid 5. You don't get full immersion, you don't get noise cancellation or anything like that. But again, these are not really quote-unquote designed for full immersion. So I can't really, I mean, I hate to say I can't give them a 5. So let's just go ahead and throw that 5 out. Because most of the people shopping for stuff like this do have ear issues. No, I don't want to give that generalization. Some of the people shopping for products like this may have some ear fatigue challenges. That's better to say. But overall, I think 7.5 for the sound quality is really good. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put them through their paces, and I'm going to draw something wearing them. Let's see how long they last. So let's go ahead and draw a picture. And I'll give my comments after that in terms of ear fatigue. I don't listen to music all day when I'm out and about, but my ears are pretty sensitive, and hopefully these will help in that capacity. So let's go ahead and draw something. Okay, so here we are at my art desk. This is exactly the scenario that I would probably use these. Now, I did include some video really quickly of me at the gym utilizing these units, and what I did like about these, after just a few minutes of wearing them, I realized the benefit of having that open ear design and not having something either stuck in your ear or right on top of your ear covering everything up, or right on here, because around me there's a lot of people and I want to be able to hear some things. I don't need to hear some guy next to me or gal grunting or whatever. But whenever somebody is talking to you, you want to be able to hear them and not have to hit it all the time. And that's really the benefit of these. And the fact that I don't have an inner ear in the ear or on, they were super comfortable. So I was able to get my workout in no problem, and I didn't have any ear fatigue or anything like that. So what we're going to do now is basically we're going to, we're going to go ahead and put these on my ear, and I'm going to start the video process of me drawing. Now today, we're going to be drawing this guy right here. So as you see, just a bird, nothing special, nothing major or anything like that, but I just wanted to give you reference. I do have a lot of reference. This was taken at the Tampa Zoo, and I think that it'll give me a really good baseline for creating really quick drawing, showing the prowess, just how to integrate them into your day-to-day. So let's go ahead and we're going to, let's go ahead and get started in Photoshop. And as you see lower here on the right-hand side, I'll put the units on and you can just kind of see me wearing them. And if I have any comments or if I have any thing like that in reference to the Yugi units, I'll bring it up in process, all right? Okay, so I have the Yugi units installed. I'm not going to talk too much about them unless something comes up that really I think needs to be noted. What I did do, however, the microphone that you're hearing is actually the microphone that is in the earbuds. So there is an active noise cancellation. I do have a fan on. I do have some clocks in my office. I'm hoping you don't hear any of that, but at the end of the day, we're going to go ahead and continue regardless. So, drawing a bird today. I am a birder. If anybody knows what that is, then you will understand my passion for our winged friends. I love birds. I have a I have I think 6 bird feeders in my front yard. I just sit a lot of times instead of turning the TV on. What I'll do, I'm trying to find my brush. What I'll do is I'll just sit and watch the birds on the bird feeder. It's so much fun. I can't even, I just love it. I love birds in general. I love their shapes. I love their attitudes. I mean, they're just so beautiful. And the fact they can fly, even better. So what I'm doing right now, I think this is a peafowl. So peafowls, I believe, are like, I don't know if it's a peafowl or not. It might be a peacock. Maybe that's the term used for a baby peacock. I just love, peacocks are beautiful. I used to live in Florida, so there used to be peacocks that would run wild. Now, are they wild? Probably not. Somebody probably had them as a pet or something along those lines, and they let it go. And now there are numerous peacocks that are living in Central Florida, and some of them people have them on their properties, so on and so forth. I'm trying to look at my reference here. Why do I like birds? I don't know. I like birds. Not only can they fly, but they're very beautiful. Let's go ahead and do a little eye shine on here. Not getting into the details just yet. I don't know. I like the way they look. I like all the things they can do. Some of them are very smart. So I really enjoy them. Not having any issues with the Yugi units. They feel really good. And what I really like about these, as opposed to like my Surface, here's my Surface. Now they go over and they really separate me from everything, but my ear gets really hot inside. And there's a degree of ear fatigue because they do mash a little bit on the ears. But these units, I'm not feeling any kind of issue at all. So if you watch me while I'm drawing, what I'm doing is doing sort of like a road map. And I won't stay in one spot too long. I'll sort of make small adjustments. Like right now, I'm looking at the feet. I want to go ahead and generalize the feet, so I'm just going to do that. Pretty simple. I'm thinking, okay, so the feet kind of look like a triangle, so that's good. Let's go ahead and move him up just slightly. And then you've got this wing that comes around here. It kind of balances. And you have this other wing that comes around. Looks like the back end of him. Okay. Got this other wing right here. Right there. Okay. So, in short order, that's another thing. To me, birds aren't really quote-unquote difficult. Now, whenever you get into the minutia of the feathers, and you have to draw every single feather and stuff like that, then it gets a little daunting. And I don't want to call it hard. It just takes time. And if you're impatient like I am, sometimes that impatience can really work against you when drawing. Okay, here we go. This one's a little almost on the same plane, but not really, because it's going in back, so we need to adjust a little bit. So that goes in back, that goes in front. He's got like crisscross legs. Okay. So we're just going to do really, really simplified here. It's going to come around. Okay, whoops. Another leg has a foot going right here, and then the other leg foot goes, you can't really see it because it's hidden. Okay. So then what I do as far as Photoshop goes, he's a little skinny. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to pull him out. Good. I think I've made that. It goes right here. There we go. And don't be afraid to make adjustments as you go. And that's what I'm doing, because right now it's such in the infancy stage. I don't stress about getting things wrong right now. Now, as I progress and I'm correcting the anatomy and correcting forms and correcting shapes, making sure stuff is where it needs to be, yeah, I'll make adjustments. Like I'm starting to see some feathers right here, right, and that comes here to the leg, and then you have this little area below. So now what I'm starting to see is some of the connective forms and connective lines. So this line right here comes around. It's a little thick. Okay. And this line goes up and around his back because it continues. And you start thinking in terms of 3 dimensions. I think I made his neck a little bit too big. And it's never too early to start thinking about background. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put in a simple background because he is on a rock. Whenever I went to the zoo, I have ulterior motives. I don't know if anybody ever does that. You go with a family, you're like, yeah, let's go, vacation time, woohoo! And of course I bring my phone, as everybody has a phone with them. But a lot of the things that I think about whenever I'm at zoo is, can I get pictures of animals? Can I get pictures of animals doing unique things? Can I get close-up of animals? Because zoos are a place, a lot of people hate zoos because they're keeping animals in captivity, which I don't particularly support, but I like going to zoos because I get to see animals that I would not normally see unless I was out in the wild. So, like, case in point, a tiger. I don't want to see a tiger in the wild for numerous reasons, mainly because they would probably eat you or eat me, and I don't really want to be eaten by a tiger. Brown bear, grizzly bear, again, polar bear, all these beautiful animals that you would normally not see, but you go to a zoo, just as long as the zoo treats them correctly and feeds them and takes care of them and stuff like that. And a lot of times zoos take in injured animals that could not be in the quote-unquote wild. So I do like that aspect of it. But I don't like seeing animals mistreated. It is one of the biggest, oh, I hate seeing that. So, okay, go around. All right, so we're starting to see a little bit, and again, keeping things simple. And the way birds, yeah, that neck is way too big. Let's go ahead and do this. Copy, paste. We're going to make it longer. And we're going to make it higher. Okay. It's going to be skinnier up here. Yeah. That fits better. And then we've... Now, in the shot, in the picture, you see some buildings and stuff, and I'm not doing that. I want to keep it kind of a wild feel. So we'll probably just keep things... Now, he's looking in this direction, so maybe I have a little bit more leaf litter type stuff coming here on the right-hand side. Maybe I've got another rock. Nope. Coming around here. And this is all leaf litter right here. So we'll come here. There's a horizon line. Possibly, I don't know. I'm just playing it by ear. But the rock, yeah, the rock's kind of boring. So anyway, so let's go ahead and go up to this. I need to go ahead and extend canvas size. We're going to go ahead and height of 18 here. We're going to extend down. Okay. Here we go. All right, we're going to save. So far, I'm literally, this would be the time, probably about 5 minutes in, 7 minutes in, when I start thinking, okay, maybe I need to adjust the earbuds. Maybe I need to do something like that. Feel good? I don't have any ear fatigue or anything like that. I think his eye is going to be really just a little bit too big. And we'll, again, this being a sketch, okay, I'm looking at the reference, and it looks like he's got like a coming out here, and then he's got another one. Looks like he's got another one coming out right there on the other side. Okay. All right, not too bad. But this is the point in the drawing where I start kind of looking at the reference a little bit more intently. I start thinking in terms of details. I've gone from looking at basic shapes, now I'm looking at minutia. Not super fine details, but I'm starting to make the drawing make more sense in the context of the animal. Starting to look at muscle structure, starting to look at feather placement. Okay. Now, unfortunately, the reference I have, his head really is in kind of shadow, and that stinks. So we're going to go ahead and adjust the beak, because the beak looks like it's in two pieces. So it comes around like this, and you got a little nostril, looks like, and then you got this sharp, small sharp element. It comes up and then it goes down slightly. Okay, it looks like this. Okay, we're gonna cut them like this. All right, not too bad, not too bad. Yeah, he's got this going on now. See, the challenge is he's overlapping a tree in the background, and that's causing some issues. But we're going to go ahead and do this, just to give visual reference to it. We're going to do the same over here. I think the most interesting thing that I have ever had, experience-wise, at a zoo, had to do when I was, I believe, gosh, where was I? Busch Gardens, possibly? And they had an orangutan pavilion, and an orangutan was sitting next to the glass, and people were going up, and they were hitting the glass and stuff like that. And I don't like that. And the orangutan was ignoring because you could tell it was used to human human poking, and they even tell you, don't hit the glass, don't hit, and kids go up and hit the glass, and parents are just like, all right, Isabel, go sit next to the monkey. Shh. It's not a monkey, it's a great ape. Anyway, so, yes. Say hi to the monkey, say hi. And so the child did what the mom said, of course, and the ape is just sitting there, the orangutan. Beautiful creature. I mean, the eyes, the structure, the fur, I mean, absolutely just insanity beautiful. So I went over and I sat, and I looked at the creature, and the creature looked up at me, looked up again, and it kept looking at me, and I had glasses on, I had sunglasses, and it couldn't see my eyes. And it did this, it went, and I thought for a second, why is it doing that? And I said, yeah, it's my face. Me being an idiot, of course, didn't really understand what was going on. The creature was telling me to remove my sunglasses, so I took my sunglasses, and I looked at it, and it was just, it was a moment. I mean, it kind of brought me to tears a little bit. You could see the creature was looking into my eyes, and I put my hand up like that, and the creature went like this to the glass. And in that moment, get me a little emotional. In that moment, just the connection that was there, I mean, that really just it changed my life. I'm always one of those people to look in between the lines, per se, the lines of humanity, because who knows what that creature had gone through, or maybe I looked like somebody, but it wanted to see my eyes. And whenever it did, it could see that I maybe didn't mean it no harm, any harm, didn't mean it no harm, mean it any harm, and it literally, it was just beautiful. And of course, the next person wanted to take a picture with the monkey. So I got up and they blah, blah, blah. But I walked away from that with a new profound understanding of human-animal interaction. So now, whenever I go to zoos, I look for the moments. I look for the moments is what I do. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to do this. There's a mountain up here that breaks that plane. And you can see I've got these two lines intersecting like that, really going towards the head, and that's exactly by design. Yeah. Okay. So, basically, what I wanted this to be, because this is a drawing channel, I wanted to show you certain devices, certain things that we interact with in the studio have a potential to help or have a potential to hurt. So I've reviewed a lot of stuff, and I'm getting to the point now where it's, I get people contacting me daily. I mean, this morning, what was it? This morning, I get people, the companies contact me because I do some reviews, and they're like, oh, I like the way you do reviews, review my stuff. Well, it doesn't really apply to the art studio. And I've kind of stretched it. I mean, I reviewed a chainsaw, a mini chainsaw that I actually use for chainsaw carving, but I had to show it as your layman, normal guy, whatever, would use it. And that video, I never posted. I just sent it to the people, and they're like, yeah, we love it. And they used it. But I've gotten to the point now where I'm looking at things a little bit different, and they really have to make sense in the art studio for me to review them. So if you have a product for me to review, make sure it has some type of art reference to it, markers, paint, digital, whatever it is. It has to really apply to the art studio. Now, I kind of extend because I've got lighting in here, lighting and ambiance lighting, and I like lighting because it helps me immerse myself in my art studio, and that's really good. I've reviewed lighting and lights in general, color lights, I like that. So, not saying I want to do any more, but I want to make sure this doesn't turn into a quote-unquote review channel, because we're dangerously close to that, and that's why I'm kind of incorporating a little bit more drawing. Yeah, see that? That really helps. Now, a little bit more drawing in the process and showing you that, yes, the earbuds do work in the context of the studio environment, and I recommend. Okay, so let's go ahead and put some value in here. Let's go ahead and add a layer. We're going to add a layer on the bottom. We're going to sample that, and we're going to go just a skosh darker and just really start putting a little bit of value. Now, he needs to be one of the darker elements to stand off, and you've got his cast shadow right here. Now, if you notice, a lot of times I'll put my drawings on valued or toned background. A lot of times I'll start in black and white, because that helps me define forms a lot better. Here we go, this will be good. You don't have to do that, it's up to you, it's your drawing, do whatever you want. But for me, in my house, we start on valued toned backgrounds. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll do, here he's got a really bright light on the right hand side. And these creatures are beautiful. If you've never seen one in person, go to a zoo or go to Florida. Go to Central Florida. And some people keep these things as pets. Yeah. Peacocks. Beautiful creatures. They're coloring. Oh, gosh. And they're a little aggressive, especially the males. So, yeah. Watch what you're doing. You don't get aggressive with these. Okay, we're going to go ahead and go a little bit darker on this side, because this has... Okay. All right. Shadow, cast shadow, silhouette, form. Yeah. Let's go ahead and do this over here. And that light's coming in from the right side, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. Okay. Yeah. Peacock. While reviewing the Yugi open ear, they're not really buds, audio device, ear devices. Okay, put a little bit of dark in here. Put a little bit of dark in here. On the side right here. Some reflective light. Now let's go ahead and sample this. A little bit lighter. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, got that all the way down. Oh yeah, right here. Yeah, the rock had a really nice highlight on the rock. Definitely start looking at your drawings in terms of shapes, right? You have these beautiful highlights and the shapes of the highlights, and you got some specks here and there. But you've got a highlight right on his back. And he's a little bit in shadow right here, so creative license. Maybe he's got some stuff right here. Not the best photo, Michael. Sorry, you need to chill out, dude. Did the best that I could in the moment. It's so funny. Whenever I go to the zoo, like I said, I'm with my family, and not like I used to. I used to, back when I was in school, I would go to the monkey jungle. I called it monkey jungle. It was just a place over where I used to live in Sarasota, where I went to school, and they had just beautiful, beautiful apes and gorillas and stuff like that. And I used to go there, and then I'd go to the museum, the Ringling Museum, because I went to Ringling College in Sarasota, Florida, and I would go and just spend a couple hours. Change your life. Gave me moments to pause. And I've got a nice highlight right here. So we're going to go on top of my sketch. Turn taper on. Yeah. Alright, we're going to turn taper off. A little bit of highlight. We don't want to fight too much with the bird. And all this up here. Okay. And there we are. There is the peacock that I got to see when I was at the zoo in Tampa. Beautiful creature. You ever heard a peacock do its thing? I don't want to do it here. It's probably scare my kids half to death. But, oh man, they're just so amazing. Just go ahead and do a little bit of highlight on the mouth. Let him bounce a little bit, and then this reflective light. I see some reflective light here. Okay. Now what I can do, since this is all on one layer, I can go ahead and watch this image. Burn this a little bit. Whoops. Yep. I want taper. We'll just do this. Image, adjustments, brightness, contrast. There we go, much better. And whenever you go, you can still see that silhouette pretty clearly. If I want to, just to kind of separate from the background a little bit more. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. And for reference, again, I wanted to make sure for transparency, here is my reference. Took a little bit of creative license, but I think it turned out okay. So let's do a wrap up. I'm not going to sit here and draw for 8 hours to see how the battery life is, because honestly, I think these are great. I'll probably use these in the studio. Like right now, there's no ear fatigue at all. It says 8 hours per charge, and I think it said 60 hours, 60 or 80. I think it was 60 hours total. So you could use these. So 8 hours, charge for an hour, 8 hours, charge for an hour, 8 hours, charge for an hour, 8 hours, charge for an hour. So I'm going to put them through their paces as I progress. But I think that overall, I've had a really good time. Okay, so overall thoughts on the Tnspiration open ear headphones. They call them FreSound, FreSound. I'm pretty sure that is pronounced FreSound. I'm not really sure. So for $70, that is, okay, so you have to give reference and context to that number in comparison to other things in the marketplace. You know, whenever I was first putting them on and listening to the sound, I thought, okay, $70, that's really pushing it for me. You don't have an app, and the sound quality is not great in terms of immersion. So, gosh, I don't know. I do recommend them if you are one person that needs open ear design and you can't put anything in your ear, or you can't really utilize the large over-the-ear headphones. I mean, I've seen people walk around and work out with those. It's not really practical. For me, these really slide into that zone of I want to listen to music. I want to hear the environment around me. I want to be able to have a really long battery life. I don't want to have discomfort. So it clicks a lot of boxes for me. And in the terms of in the realm of electronics, $70 is not really a lot of money. I remember back in the day whenever my dad bought a VCR, and this was in the 80s, and it was made by Quasar, and he paid $1,500 for a VCR. Now, that's when they first came out in the early 80s, and that was $1,500 in the early 80s. You could buy a car
So that was probably equivalent to like $5 grand. And you look at something like this today, $70. I mean, you got water IPX85, or I'm sorry, IPX5 waterproof. You have hi-fi audio. I mean, you can put them in and use them as a microphone when you're narrating stuff. That's pretty cool. So overall, I give these, I had originally set a 5 for sound, but a 7.5 if you don't compare them to others. When I was in the gym, the sound was good and crisp and clear. You don't have the heavy bass, but on the other hand, that's not what these are about. So kind of tongue-in-cheek, think about these as your, I don't want to say life-saving unit if you're in the wilderness, because if you have regular earbuds in and something's chasing you. Anyway, I'm just kidding. So the unit's really good. $70 is not really a huge amount of money.
And what's really, really cool is the fact that even though they list for $70 on Amazon and on their official website, currently they've got a 52% discount on their TikTok shop. So go and visit them on TikTok. Just look up FreSound or the parent company UGEE, and it should pull up their TikTok store.
I think these are a really good option for you that can't have that. So definitely give them some of your love. There's some links down in the descriptions below. And yeah, nailed it on the head with regards to this particular product. And two, these are available not only on Amazon, but also on TikTok. So they're trying to kind of expand their footprint in social media, and these came directly from TikTok. And what was really interesting is whenever I ordered them, TikTok updated me on shipping, updated me on status, updated me not only when they were shipped, but also status in transit, but also when they were delivered. So that was really cool. Amazon kind of leaves it up to the consumer, but TikTok was pinging me, which is awesome, giving me information as they went. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you liked the drawing today. I drew something, yay. And we'll see you next time, all right? Have a good one. Bye.
And as a final wrap-up, the FreSound units were actually pretty good with regards to sound. Of course, they weren't total immersion, but the battery life combined with the fact you can get these from TikTok for 52% off. So go over to TikTok and give them some love.